Hello and welcome to On the Bench LFC. In today's live stream, we're going to be talking about, is Liverpool's luck changing? Thank you to everyone that is joining me live. I'm also joined by Mickey on tonight's stream. And as the show goes on, obviously later on, then I will take a couple of phone calls if you guys want to phone into the show. It's obviously the topic is Liverpool's luck changing, but we're going to be discussing about the reasons why we want to talk about that. Obviously, we've got some games coming up, and there's been a few key talking points today that could, I don't know, point to the fact that there's a bit of luck for Liverpool, but in general, Liverpool need a bit of luck. So I want to get your views on that for those that are in the live chat. And as always, if you're watching this back on the replay, leave a comment down below, because let's face it, Liverpool Football Club, we haven't been very lucky in recent years. And I'm going to jump straight over to Mickey, which is, you guys know, obviously Mickey is the one that we spoke on that Let's Talk Liverpool Football Club, and we were talking about diets. Okay, so if you don't remember who Mickey is, then you might know of the salad talk, as you guys might know him. Mickey, how are you, my friend? How's your day been?
I'm fantastic, and since the international break's finished, we've had quite a bit of news drop today. So
yeah, it's been a good day in general, hasn't it, for Liverpool? And like I say, is it a lucky day for Liverpool? Do you look at this as some lucky news stuff? So we're going to be telling people why we think that this could be lucky. But Mickey, luck, Liverpool, we haven't had much in recent years, have we, mate?
No. To sum it all up, we're the only side ever to have a beach ball scored against us.
Oh, bloody beach ball, Mickey. Of all things.
I think he was Sunderland's top scorer at the time as well.
Oh, what a way to start a stream, talking about a beach ball that scored against Liverpool. You don't get that in many places, do you? Right, so I'm going to jump straight into the live chat and just speak to a few of you guys quickly and say hi to Emma, Connor, Ali, Anthony, Wheelie. Welcome to the stream today, Mads, Kenny. Good to see you all in here. I hope you've all had a fantastic day as always. On the Bench LFC, a legend is in here as well. He says he's got his first ever training session on Thursday to see if I'm good enough for a team, and I got into my school team. So happy. That is absolutely fantastic news, mate. I wish you all the best with that one. It's good to hear that you're doing well there. Oisk is in as well. Hello to you, Oisk. There's your daily fist bump to you, mate. I know you like the fist bumps. Elliot says new goalkeeping coach official. Daz, Mickey, the goalkeeping coach, it's nailed on, isn't it? He's joining Liverpool Football Club. We've got some details about that, but it's a good thing, isn't it, mate?
Well, yeah. See, there's been a few complaints about Aktiberg, if that's how you pronounce his name. Don't kill me for not saying his name right. But
does anyone know how to say his name right apart from him, probably?
It's good. It's good news. But in fact, it isn't a replacement for Aktiberg. He's actually working with him, and it's Aktiberg is the one recruiting him, I read, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, he's done a lot of groundwork and played a big part in recruiting him in. I want to just quickly say, Emma said, guess what, Daz, my arm is better. Massive shout out to you. That's great news. That's really good to hear, Emma. I'm glad that your arm is better, my friend. Yeah, he did play a big part in recruiting him in. And I've seen a lot of people online today saying that, does this mean the end of him? Will he be pushing him out, down the line? I don't think he will be. Jack Robinson is the new goalkeeping coach that we've employed, and he's coming in to assist John. We call him John because it's easier for me to pronounce. He's going to be assisting him, but he's going to be working heavily with the youth goalkeepers, and there is an update with the youth goalkeepers as well. The 19-year-old youth goalkeeper, hang on, I've got it in my notes. That is, here it is, somewhere here. There's a calf injury to Kelleher. The 19-year-old Kelleher has got a calf injury due to a heavy collision with Divock Origi in training. So he's going to be out. But that's an update for another reason. We'll talk about that later on, guys. But Robinson his main focus will be working with the youth goalkeepers, and John Akterberg will be continuing to work with Alisson and Mignolet, the two, obviously, first and second team goalkeepers there. So I don't think that this is about pushing him out. He will be working alongside him and keeping an eye on the goalkeepers and obviously helping. I think it is a bonus. I think Klopp has identified that we need some help there. And I think as well, John has said, look, I need some assistance here. I think it's come down to he's probably said, I need some help here as well, because there's a lot of goalkeepers there. And it does mean that, you know, John can put more of his time into the two goalkeepers. Is that the way you look at it, Mickey?
Well, I look at it from a different point of view. I think since Buvac, well, we don't know whether he's what's happened with him, but since he's like sort of took his sabbatical, I think Klopp's looked at his backroom team and probably looked at where he's short. And obviously bringing in the throwing coach is just the start of it. I'm expecting a few more coaching appointments in the next couple of months, because I think he really is looking differently at this season. He's looking, I've got the team now, have I got the coaching team? Yeah,
because that was one thing. Obviously, you're talking about Buvac, and like Buvac obviously leaving, he hasn't returned, has he? And the one thing that I kept seeing was that Klopp is not going to be adding to his coaching staff. I mean, he's gone and got a throwing coach, which is great news, because obviously since we heard why he's brought in that throwing coach, it sounds amazing. We spoke about it before. It does sound really good. And then now another goalkeeping coach, which loads of people was pointing to that goalkeeping coach as in Achterberg and saying, is he good enough? Should people be looking at him? Because of obviously the goalkeepers that we've had haven't progressed since being at Liverpool. And as I said, this is another coach added to Klopp's back team staff, like you say. And Klopp does seem like he's a man on a mission right now. You know, Klopp, we were saying just before the stream, mate, wasn't we, that we're talking about luck in this live stream, and we're saying we've got a fantastic manager, we've got fantastic players, we're building a great squad, the owners are getting all the right personnel in the right positions. You know, the club is definitely on a progression. And you often, when you watch Liverpool and you support them, you want to see good football and you see what goes on the pitch. But maybe the coaches are overlooked by a majority of fans sometimes, but they're a real key part, aren't they, mate? And it's good to see that Klopp is like, this is what I need, and he's now addressing that, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I think bringing Linda's back as well, and he's not his official number 2, is he? But he's the head coach. But to me, when you look at on the bench, and you see the close-ups on TV as well, he's definitely got a number 2 role there without it being official. I think they may be doing that for Buvac, because obviously until it's announced that he's actually finally left the club, I don't think they can do that, can they? But
yeah, there's something going on there. There is something going on there, isn't there?
I don't think he's going to come back.
Yeah.
Could it be a financial settlement? Liverpool are trying to agree with him? I don't know. Because to be fair to Liverpool, in the past, all this would have been leaked. But since the last couple of years, FSG and Klopp have tightened ship, and we're hearing nothing about it, which is a good thing in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. It's great to see that Liverpool can keep the ship, you know. It's closed. We want the doors to be closed. We don't want this stuff being leaked as much as we want to know what's going on. It's good to see that Liverpool can do things professionally and keep it in-house. It's, as I say, as Liverpool fans, you want to know the ins and outs of what goes on, but you don't want everyone to know what goes on. And with the situation like Buvac, and because of the friendship that Klopp and Buvac had, whatever has gone on there, if it is obviously it must be a serious situation, then it's obviously something that is a private matter. And Liverpool, they want to keep this quiet as well. So yeah, maybe one day we will find out. Maybe we never will know what goes on there. Maybe one day Buvac might pop back up and end up being with Klopp. Does that mean that it would ever be at Liverpool? I really don't know, but it's definitely a difficult one there that Liverpool are having to approach in a certain way, because he's still employed by Liverpool Football Club, as you've said before, my friend. Good to see you guys are joining us today. Thank you for joining me. Kloppite's in the building as well. Elliot's here. Junior is in as well. Mr. Mac, good to see all you guys. DMG's in as well. Hero, thank you for joining us, everyone. Gary, just I could keep naming your names, guys. I hope you've all had a fantastic day. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, there's been some breaking news today over some Tottenham players as well that won't be available for the Liverpool fixture. It is all part and parcel with what we are talking about. Is Liverpool's luck changing? But, Mickey, Liverpool's luck, the two players that are being named today, obviously Dele Alli and Hugo Lloris. What's your views on that, mate? Obviously, it is lucky for Liverpool in a way. We was confident that we could do a job anyway, wasn't we? Because we spoke about this before, that we could do a job before we even knew about this. But it is part of this that Liverpool's luck could be changing slightly with when you're hearing about these players not being available when we come to play them.
Oh, it's definite luck change. I think this season we've had a bit more luck than we ever had before. I think losing Vardy in the Leicester clash was a big thing. I know it was his own fault he got sent off, but I still see it as, well, you know, he's going to miss our game. That's a bit of luck. The luck with De Bruyne getting injured, but I wish him a speedy recovery because he's a great player, so we can't celebrate that. But we're quite lucky that Man City have been diminished that little bit. But I think the big news tomorrow is Dele Alli is a massive goal threat, and his assists are quite, high. I think missing him tomorrow, Tottenham are really diminished, and the goalkeeping situation they've got there, if Lloris doesn't make it into the side, I watched, is it Vorm play against Watford? He wasn't very good, so things are looking up and luck is changing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just see a comment in the live chat there saying, why are they not available? Apparently, Ali has a hamstring issue, obviously from the international duty. And Lloris, they're saying about a thigh injury. But we know that there's been loads of stuff going on with Lloris in the media as well, over drink driving and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't really need to get into that stuff. It doesn't really concern Liverpool, does it? But naughty boy there. I saw Steve put a comment saying it's not luck, it's hard graft over a number of months / years under Klopp. To a certain degree, I get what you're saying there, Steve, to a fact that at the beginning of the stream I was trying to say, look, Liverpool haven't had any luck for years. We just haven't. And it has always felt as a Liverpool supporter that everything is against us. Decisions go against us in games. The beach ball was brought up at the beginning of the stream by Mickey. When we play Spurs, referee decisions. And I'm not saying that, just because Vardy was out of the Leicester game, just because they haven't got Ali and Lloris, that it doesn't make this game any easier as such, because they could still get a penalty decision that could go their favour in that game. They could still end up with more luck during a match. But what we mean by a bit of luck is, when you're looking at Liverpool Football Club this year and you're looking at Liverpool want to win the Premier League, we want to win silverware. There's been so many years, guys, where you watch the teams like Man United, and me and Mickey was talking about this before the stream. You watch them from a distance and you go, how bloody lucky are they? They've won the league because they're lucky. They score last minute goals, they score this, or teams come up against them when this team is a weaker team than when Liverpool played that squad, because they had their best players against Liverpool, but not when they played against United, who went on to win the league because of this. But so far this season, as you pointed out, Mickey, Vardy, he loves to play against Liverpool. Ali, he's one of Tottenham's best players. Lloris, their captain, a great keeper. Vorm is a good keeper, but you said you watched him and he didn't look nowhere near as good as Lloris. As people, I've seen people say Vorm isn't nowhere near as good as Lloris. So, it is, I would look at it as it's a positive anyway, because it will have a negative effect on their players, because they would be looking at this. We're going into this week. I mean, there's even talk that Harry Kane is not 100% fully fit. They're going to be worried about playing Liverpool anyway. And this is a home game for them, where there's going to be, it's at Wembley. So there's going to be expectation levels there. And I think if Liverpool go out and start this strong and rattle them early on, which I always like to say that we should do against teams like Tottenham, but they're going to be thinking we haven't got enough. And they should be thinking that anyway, because Liverpool are a fantastic team this year. But we are starting to see a bit more luck for Liverpool, because there's been too many times over the years, Mickey, where we just end up facing these teams and they're fully fit and fully strong, but other teams that we're competing for the league with, every time they come up against them, you know, these teams that are ended up with these players being injured. But it's good to see that it's coming back round for us a bit now, isn't it?
Oh, listen, you don't wish an injury on any player, but like if you're Liverpool and you're looking at the team sheet and you're looking no Ali and no Lloris, you've got a bit of, let's give you a bit more incentive. And the other way round, Spurs, you're thinking, God, that game against Liverpool is going to be tough anyway. It's going to be even tougher now. So doubt starts to creep into their head, and confidence seems to grow in the Liverpool side. I've got a funny feeling Liverpool might just throw down the marker, because all the fans are asking them, please play well, do this. I've got a funny feeling, you know, this is just enough incentive to kickstart the season and us playing our full flowing attacking football again.
Yeah, it would be lovely to see, honestly. Like people are saying, we owe them one. And, you know, going into this, as you say, Liverpool could be looking at this licking their lips now. I think that Liverpool would have been confident anyway going into this. We said it beforehand, didn't we? Before we knew of these players not being available, they would have been confident and going, look, it's top of the table. We've been defensively better this year. The attack hasn't quite clicked yet, but it's going to click at some point, and when it does, a team's going to get a hammering off of us, and we're better than it to start, and for that team to be Spurs. And then we hear that some of their key players aren't available. Win-win. And that is, again, it comes down to this, is Liverpool's luck changing? Now, obviously, we will end up speaking about Spurs again in this live stream, but Mickey, PSG, we're talking about players being missing for Spurs. There's some big news as well about the PSG fixture on Tuesday, isn't there? They have also got players missing. Who's missing for PSG, mate?
Well, they've got 5 players missing. They've got Kuzara,
yeah,
Dani Alves, Verratti, and then they've got 2 players banned for the game. Rabiot, who we were linked with, and also Buffon, who's their new keeper. So it's 5 players missing, and the rumours are they're going to have to play Di Maria at fullback.
Do you know, when me and Mickey was talking about this, guys, and he was saying Di Maria at fullback, if that happens, Sadio Mane eats him alive. And then we were discussing some of the tactics just before we come on the stream, you know, and we were talking about down that side, and Mickey pointed out Robbo overlapping Mane, causing him all sorts of problems. And I said, put Naby Keita in a game against PSG as well, because we all want to see Naby play anyway, every game, because we love Naby, don't we? But Naby is really good at destroying the right back, in my opinion. It's the way he draws defenders in and he puts that ball in behind the back line. You saw it lots when he was in the Bundesliga. He was very good at that, and I think we saw it already this year for us. Trent's ball into midfield. What game was that, Mickey? Do you remember that delicious ball into midfield that Trent did? It was one of the first games. It might have been West Ham, I think.
Could have been Bournemouth, you know, as well. Not Bournemouth, Brighton.
It was definitely one of the first.
Did the Cruyff turn as well?
I can't think off the top of my head, but I know that Trent did a beautiful ball which split the lines into the middle, and I got a feeling that it was against West Ham. I don't know why, but it was a beautiful ball into the midfield anyway. Naby travels with the ball, draws the defence into him, and then he basically, you know, ends up with it laying his pass off, crosses in, and it's finished off by Mo Salah, I think it was.
Yes, that's West Ham.
Yeah, I thought it was, but you know what it's like. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to be definite with it, and then people go, it's not, you're an idiot. And then, you know, Matthew saying, yep, it was West Ham. Thank you so much to you as well, Matthew. But that's what Naby's really good at. So I'm looking at them playing Di Maria at right back, and I'm going, hang on a minute, you play Naby there. You've got Naby, Robbo, and Mane absolutely destroying a Di Maria at right back. oh my God, is that mouth-watering. PSG are also talking about maybe resting Neymar in their next game so that he's fully fit for this. And what was your word to that when we were talking about it, Mickey?
Well, that just means to say they're taking us serious and they're running scared.
Yes.
To me, to rest a player this early in the season in a league game, to play him in the Champions League game against Liverpool away from home, that says it all, doesn't it? Tuchel knows, what Anfield's like in a European night because he's been on the wrong end of a beating. Well, it weren't a beating, but he knows how much we fight. But to be fair, we were a much poorer side then now, so he's obviously kept tabs on it and had a look, and he must be thinking, oh my God, what am I going to, I've got to put Di Maria in there. How's he going to cope? I don't know what he's thinking, but resting Neymar just shouts, oh my God, I'm scared of Liverpool.
Yeah, it definitely does. I've got a few comments here saying about Daz Munier will play at right back surely, or even Kimpembe. Do you reckon that he might end up going with that, my friend? Do you reckon he could play those players at right back?
I'm not sure because it's saying here, because of the players unavailable to him, he's going 3 at the back and then using wing backs. That's sort of
that's what I was thinking he's going to do. Yeah,
and moving one of the fullbacks into the 3, and then just having 2 forward-thinking players as wing backs. I think that's what they're saying because they are rather short in defence at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully that kind of addressed what we were saying there, guys. But yeah, it feels and it sounds mouth-watering just picturing how it could end up panning out. Anyway, again, it is part of this is Liverpool's luck changing. But I want to stress though, when we're talking about Liverpool's luck changing, I never liked this. We saw it last year in the Champions League run that everyone was going, oh, Liverpool have had it so lucky this year. Who have they come up against? It's really hard for us to get to the Champions League final. And I was like, that does my head in. Because, Liverpool have had a real tough time of it over the years, as we've said. But and I'm confident that Liverpool could beat PSG at their full strength and we at our full strength because of obvious reasons, because we spoke about it before. Same with Tottenham, But when you're coming up against these teams like this, you do look at that and you go, wow, that's lucky and I will take that. It's, as you said, Mickey, you don't wish that these players are injured or anything. You don't want bad injuries on people. But at the same time, you do look at it and you go, I will take it because we're Liverpool Football Club and we want to win stuff. So, yeah, I'll take it. JK says, hi to you, my friend. Connor says, watching the Van Dijk video in the tackle on Mbappe has me full of faith in our defence against PSG. Did you see that, Mickey?
Oh, yeah, I did. To be honest, I'm still scared of Mbappe. He's still their best player.
Yeah.
No matter how, you could have 4 Van Dijks in the side, but Mbappe could do a bit of magic and score a goal. He needs to be watched carefully, but not just by Van Dijk, by the whole of the defence. And to be honest, the midfield have a key role there as well of watching his runs.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. They've still got dangerous players when we play against them. And I want to point out as well, Spurs have still got dangerous players as well. And they've still got a dangerous team. So even though these teams may be missing players, they're still deadly teams. They're still great teams. And we do still need to take them seriously, which Liverpool will. Apparently as well, I've had a couple of messages over the last couple of days saying, will Son play for Spurs, against Liverpool? From what I'm reading online, they're saying that it's unlikely that he will play because of obviously he's just been away with on his international duty. And, will his fitness be there? I don't know. Will he feature? Not too sure, guys. We don't know at this point in time. He's a quality player and Spurs would have loved for him to be available for this. But again, we really don't know what they're going to do in that scenario. But if they did have a fully fit and available team, I'd say bring them on still anyway, wouldn't you, Mickey? You really would.
Listen, bring them all on. I don't. If we do win silverware this season in Europe, in the league, any cups, I don't want anyone to say, "Well, you won it because these were diminished, that was diminished." I want us to go and win stuff, saying that we were the best side in that competition that year, and we beat some good sides. And going on what they said about last season, we drew Manchester City, who were the best side in Europe, without a shadow of a doubt, and we knocked them out.
Yep, I agree with that. I fully agree with that. And that was the one thing that I was saying. Like, come on, you can't say that Liverpool, don't deserve to be in a Champions League final last year, because we did play tough teams and they were tough games. I think people try to highlight that we didn't have tough games because Liverpool made it look easy. We did make it look too easy, didn't we, in some of them games? And I think that's what the problem was, wasn't it? We breezed through some of them teams, whereas I would say other Premier League teams wouldn't have made it look nowhere near that easy, would they?
No, not really. To be honest, Manchester United had an easier draw than us when they drew Sevilla, because we were unlucky, stupid defensive mistakes to draw with them 2 games. In fact, we outplayed them and should have beaten both games. And Manchester United had a much easier draw than we did and got knocked out. Yeah. We had Man City, they had Sevilla. So it's not having the luck of the draw. Going about luck, look at our League Cup draw, Chelsea. I know we've been drew at home, but you can't say that's the hardest. It's the first round for Liverpool anyway. It's not. I know it's not the first round. That's the hardest draw you could have thought up of. Yeah.
No, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. Chelsea are going to be no pushover team, and again, it was like, here we go. I've seen people say, do Liverpool let Chelsea win that and we concentrate on the league? And I'm like, no, win it. Go and try and win it, isn't it? Like, what's your views on that, Mickey? We try and beat Chelsea, don't we?
Listen, Klopp's always said, if we're in it to win it until we get knocked out. That's simple as that.
Yeah.
And I like that. And I agree with that philosophy. But I do personally think both sides will not play a full-strength side.
Because they've got their one eye on other things. Yeah, for sure, for definite. Like I say, I get when people are saying about they want to win the Premier League, so we should forget about other stuff in that sense, because I know where their heart is and I know why they think that way, because they're like, we want to win the Premier League. So I get it in that sense. But I still want to win silverware. I still want to beat Chelsea. If Chelsea beat us, I would be fuming and gutted, because I want to beat everyone. That's just what being a Liverpool supporter is for me. I don't like drawing. I don't like losing. I don't like anything. 3 points in the league, winning every game. I never thought of it years ago until I started doing my YouTube channel, and then people are like, come on, Daz, relax, we got 3 points down. I'm like, actually, I think I'm quite strict. I expect a lot, in my views, because I'm like, I want to see more. And I think I'm happy with Liverpool a lot of the time, but sometimes I'm like, come on, you can do better than that. And thank God I'm not the Liverpool manager, because, the players will be like, shut up, get out of the changing room now. We just got the 3 points, mate. Wind it in. What else have we got here? So Mosey says, always hearing the top teams we beat didn't play well. No credit at all, sickens me. Mosey's got a very, very good point there. He's saying about when we do play really well and we beat the top teams, or just in general, I've heard it against anyone, Liverpool don't get the credit, do we? And it is similar to like the luck thing, that we just don't ever seem to get the credit. Liverpool could play absolutely outstanding, and you will hear a commentator or you'll hear a pundit or you'll hear people say, but the other team were just really poor today. The West Ham game, for instance, their defence was shocking. Why was he playing that high line? And it's like, West Ham was this team that was going to do amazing this year. They got a great manager, great signings, and Liverpool blew them away. I mean, it was like, it wasn't that Liverpool was amazing. It was because they messed up. And you hear that all the time, don't you, Mickey? Does that frustrate you as well?
It does, because it's just so narrow-minded, and sometimes you have to look at it they didn't play well, but it was because Liverpool's tactics stopped them from playing well, and that's, Klopp's not going to go there and let, say, Man City players, he's not going to let them dominate the ball and attack us every 5 seconds like every other team gives in. It's not going to happen, is it? It is a very narrow-minded point of view, to be honest. And it sometimes credit's where credit's due. Like you say, we're not going to play Naby Keita today. We're going to play Fabinho because he's more defensive. Then Fabinho then stops all their attacks Yeah, they never get the ball into the box, and Liverpool win 3-0. But they go, wow, yeah, they didn't get the ball into the box. So the reason they get the ball into the box is because Fabinho stopped it all. That's never mentioned. It's always, oh yeah, they were off it today. But it sometimes is down to the tactics. It's happened to us in some games this season. Like when teams have beaten us, it's gone, oh, well, Liverpool were really poor. But no one ever says, well, actually, Liverpool wasn't poor. The other team tactically outthought them.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I think it comes down to like our tactics as well. The way we press, we can make teams look really off their game because they can't play their way, can they? Because we saw it against Leicester, for instance. You know, I was one of them that was like, oh my God, like Liverpool just wasn't good. It was because I'm a very reactionary character. You will tell that if anyone watches my watch alongs or anything, I'm so reactionary. You know, if I watch a game and I'm frustrated in that game, unless I've took 2 hours away and then thought back, because after the Leicester game, for instance, after a couple of hours of calming down, I was like, 3 points. Like, this is amazing. Leicester is a tough place to go. They're a great team. Fantastic. It was a good result. Great. If the goalkeeper didn't make a mistake, it would have been another clean sheet. So after time and after me calming down, I do relax. But at the time when I'm watching it and it's frustrating, you're like, oh, like this is terrible. And Leicester hurried us in possession and it made us look worse than what maybe we was. And I think Liverpool do that to everyone. We make every team look like they're having an off day or a bad day. And then that is what he spoke about so much, is everyone just goes, no, the other team was terrible today. But it's our tactics. As we all say, as you say, Mickey, it's how we play that makes them bad. You was talking about Fabinho, but, from the front, Firmino, the way he presses from the front, they say their defence was terrible, giving away possession. Our players make them give away possession because of triggering the presses, the triggering of the runs and the way we hurry them and press. We smother them. We don't give them time to think on the ball. That is Klopp's tactics. And if you was down on that pitch, I'm pretty sure you would give away and do a few loose passes if you had 3 really fast attackers shutting you down as a backline. And come to face it, if you're a professional footballer in the Premier League and you're one of the defenders, that your job is mainly to keep the ball out of the back of the net and to defend, you're not really going to be looking to be able to thread a ball through a couple of players, are you? Like David Silva or Kevin De Bruyne or how Steven Gerrard could pin a ball like between 4 players. Liverpool make players have to do that sometimes, and they're not going to be able to do that. And that's what, I think that these people, they just can't get their head round. And that's what is really, really frustrating, Richard Fink says, Daz is preaching knowledge here, mate. Yeah. Richard, I think that's one of the only times that I preach knowledge, mate, if you could call it that. But yeah, Alex is in as well. Good to see you tonight. Safe's in as well. He says, you're right, Daz, mate. How are you, mate? Good to see you. What else have we got? It's all about Ojo, says Ted. So you're an Ojo fan. Good to see that Ojo's got some fans in here as well. What else have we got? We won the Premier League Asia Trophy last season, says Junior. Connor's saying, Matthew, you do make a fair point there. So some of you guys are having a chat amongst yourselves. What else we got? So Trent today has said that he's happy with his FIFA card. On Instagram, on his story, he released that he's got a 78 rated gold FIFA card. So I know that quite a few of you do play on the games. Obviously yourself, Mickey, you're a PES fan, aren't you? You're a PES player. But Trent was a 68 rated silver card last year. Now he's been upgraded to 78. His biggest increase was in defence of a plus 11. He's happy with that. Mickey, for you, 78 rated for our right back. Is that fair for him? I know you're Pez, but do you think that's fair?
Well, perhaps we're a bit more biased. Perhaps it should be a bit higher, in my opinion. But are we biased? I mean, how does he compare to some of the other fullbacks in the league and in the rest of Europe? I'm not quite sure on that one. But sometimes the FIFA ratings are a bit weird and strange.
Yeah, I think it's strange. He's happy with it, so I guess we should be like, nice. He's happy. He's gone from silver to gold, 68 to 78. It's a big increase for him over a season. So I'm glad that he's happy. Brewster as well. I think Brewster tweeted out or something his card and said that his shooting will be from 60. I think it was around the 60 range. I haven't got it in front of me, but 60. He said it would be 85 by next season or something. So Brewster is a man with confidence. I love that. I cannot wait for Bruce to be back fit. Can you, Mickey? Wow. I think he's got a massive future.
Wow, that guy really. Honestly, I did when he started scoring the goals in the is it the under-17 World Cup. I started to follow him a bit more, and I'll tell you, he's some player. He knows where the goal is. Natural ability to finish. Very similar to Robbie Fowler, to be honest. There's no doubt in his natural ability. He's got a bit more to his game than Fowler had as well. Let's wait and see. You know, the problem he's going to have is getting Bobby out the side. But if he can do it and keep his place, then obviously it's going to work, isn't it? Because if you're keeping Bobby Firmino out the side, you are good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if anyone out there would ever be able to keep Bobby out of the team, because he just helps link everything together. His defensive work rate and stuff. There's no one out there like Bobby, is there? And I think that's where it's good that we've got a player like Brewster, because Daniel Sturridge is happy to play this role now. He's happy to be there, but his contract's up in a year. Does he get an extension? You know, I think a lot of fans are agreeing that they probably wouldn't risk giving him another extension in case he did get injured again. But I don't know what people's views are on that. That's in the live chat tonight, or that are watching it. But of course, let us know. But Brewster coming up through the ranks, as long as he gets some game time, I think he'd be happy with his age, coming back from an injury. He shouldn't be demanding too much game time, but real future ahead of him. And I think if he can be a different type of striker to what we've got in Bobby, then yeah, Klopp may look at him and go, do you know what, in this game, this is a Brewster type game. We need a player like Brewster in this one. And it also means that we could rest Bobby, because the one thing that we got at the moment is we got Daniel Sturridge there. Slanky's not ready. I don't think he could have done with a loan, in my opinion. But the one thing that we got with Sturridge is I don't think Klopp fully trusts that he could play a full game without him getting injured. And Klopp wants to make sure that he's available for if we do need him last minute. Does that make sense to you, Mickey? Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. I personally feel that Sturridge won't be getting a new contract. Even if he stays fit all this season. Like you said, if he goes and wins his 3-year contracts, Liverpool may be dubious to give him one, because they probably think, well, you might sit 2 years of this 3-year contract on the injury table. It's a shame, really, because Sturridge is a good player.
Yeah,
it's the same with Lallana when it comes up. I don't think they're going to renew Lallana's contract, and I don't think Liverpool are going to renew Moreno's contract. There's talk of him going to Barcelona in January. I don't know if you heard that.
I see the rumours saying that they are looking at him as a backup. Wow. Liverpool to Barcelona. I think that would be the one move that, you know, how many times have we seen Barcelona trying to poach our players, and Liverpool fans like, this is disgusting, this is a joke, they should be done for the way they steal our players. And then they come in for Moreno and people are like, okay, yeah, all right, take him.
Give us 20 million quid as well while you're there, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's no disrespect to Moreno, because I think, again, you know, there's a fine line, isn't there? Because Moreno's another good character. Sturridge, a great character, you know. These are all really good lads. I think at Liverpool, we've got such a good bunch of lads. They're really nice people, aren't they? You can tell that. Moreno, again, on social media, you know, he looks funny. He looks like he's a good character to be around with the other lads. They all have a laugh. He seems really lovely. But I've seen people say about using him out on a wing. When I say, is his end product good enough to be out on a wing? He's got pace. He's got a rifle with a left foot when he wants to use it. But is he able to play in a game and do what Mane would do as a left winger? I don't think he is. So, you know, there's other players there that I would say in the youth setup that I would be like, right, I'd rather see them progress more so by giving them game time than what I would perhaps give Moreno it. So, yeah, if Barcelona want to come in and give us 20 million, as you said, for him, yeah, dirty tactics, Barcelona. Let's see how they do plan on taking him if they do.
Well, let's use the money to buy Sessegnon from Fulham.
I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. Now, that is a player that can play left wing as well.
Exactly.
Very good talent, mate. Very good. He is definitely someone that I want to see Liverpool go for in the future. What else have we got? Good to see you guys joining me tonight. I see Gillian's in as well. Good to see you tonight, Gillian. I hope you've had a good day. I see Father's brought up a really good point here somewhere, but the chat's just jumped. But he's saying about Grabara, and this was something I was talking about earlier. So I said, Kelleher, the 19-year-old goalkeeper, was involved in a heavy collision in training, and he will be sidelined for at least a month due to a calf injury. Now, he collided with Origi in training. It was quite bad from what I can see. But this, however, means that Grabara, however you actually do say his name, the young goalkeeper as well, he is now on standby to be Liverpool's backup goalkeeper against Spurs, because Simon Mignolet apparently should be back for Spurs, but we don't know 100% because he's out injured as well, wasn't he? He was recalled from international duty with an injury. So that means that Grabara could make the bench as Liverpool's number 2 goalkeeper. So that's big news for him, you know. Obviously, it would have been Kelleher. He's now injured. Grabara making a big step up there. Now, obviously, Alisson should be our number 1 goalkeeper, and there shouldn't be no changes there whatsoever. And touch wood, nothing happens to Alisson. But in that scenario, mate, does that tell you, you know, with Mignolet wanting a push for a move out, come January, do you go to get in an experienced goalkeeper for you, mate? Would you be looking to sign an experienced goalkeeper?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I've been saying this in the summer. We should have got rid of Karius and Mignolet, brought in Alisson or Oblak, and we got Alisson. And then we should then go for a really experienced goalkeeper to be our number 2. Now, I personally would have gone for Pepe Reina. So he knows the club, he knows the fans, and today he's been voted, he's been announced as the Premier League's best ever goalkeeper. Am I wrong? Yeah,
no, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's some statement considering the amount of good goalkeepers the Man United have had. That is an outstanding statement. And me personally, but I think Brendan Rodgers, for some strange reason, sold him and brought in Mignolet. And we came close to winning the league. But if we'd have got Reina in that goal that year, we would have won it.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. You know, I absolutely loved Reina. I think he was a fantastic goalkeeper. I miss him. My missus definitely misses him because she fancied him. I remember when we first got together, she was like, he's a bit of all right. I was like, yeah, he is. And as much as I like you watching Liverpool with me, you can definitely look away now. Only joking. I was like, that's brilliant. It means I get to watch Liverpool more because she's got a bit of eye candy on the TV. What else have we got here? So Scotty's in. He says, hey Daz, how are you tonight? I'm good, thank you, Scotty. How are you, my friend? Thank you for joining me. We got Wayne in as well. Wayne says, all right Daz, all right Wayne, how are you, buddy? Thank you for joining me, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the live stream so far. Obviously I'm joined by Mickey tonight, and we're having a good old chat about Liverpool and is their luck changing? So let us know, do you think that Liverpool's luck is changing a bit this year? We do need a bit of luck if you want to win silverware. Part of it will come down to luck. But thank you for everyone that has joined. Please leave a thumbs up as well if you are enjoying it so far. It would be really good to see those thumbs up on this one. Ryan says, Daz, what do you think? I've got tickets for Saturday, but I'm placed in the Spurs end. I think you should go, mate, for definite and represent Liverpool, but maybe be a bit quiet until Liverpool score and then jump up and give it a big one. I don't know, mate. It's totally up to you. I don't know what type of a character you are, but I think if you've got tickets to go and watch it, mate. You know, we've all gone to games in the other opposing team's end, and yeah, you know, I think if you can just be quiet and can watch a game that way, then brilliant, you know, because you don't want to get yourself in any trouble. That's what I would say. But at the same time, you're going to be there, you're going to be watching Liverpool, and there's no harm in that at all, is there? Just, you know, have a jacket on if you've got your Liverpool top on. Richard says, I like the Irish kid very much. The Irish kid, what one, my friend? Let me know.
The goalkeeper.
Oh, yes. Gotcha. I'm on the same wavelength now. Yeah, he's very good, mate. Very talented. Very talented. Connor says, fully agree with Mickey. Pepe Reina would have been a good backup for Alisson. I think so. I think we should have got him. I was gutted that we couldn't, to be honest. Nigel says, hi Daz and Reds. Hope everyone is well. I'm very well. Good to see you tonight, Nigel. How are you? I hope you've had a fantastic day. Nigel, you're just joining. Anyone's just joining. Is Liverpool's luck changing? We spoke about Spurs, a couple of key men missing. PSG got key men missing as well. Is it time that Liverpool get a bit more luck this year? Last year, we was the most unluckiest team in the Premier League. We need a bit of luck, don't we, guys? Oisk wants a fist pump. Oisk, boom. There's your fist pump, mate. I did give you one at the beginning of the stream, but I don't think you saw it, buddy. Diamante, he says he wants to dive. That's not good, mate. Obviously, speak to people in the live chat. We got the mods there. Don't feel down, mate. There's a lot of people to talk to. You know, it's not good to hear people talk like that, buddy. I hope that everything's all right. Obviously, it doesn't sound great. Or he says that. Matthew says, yep, I love bald Spanish goalkeepers. Yeah. I think my missus does as well. Obviously, Junior says, Daz, can I get a double fist pump? One for me and one for Ojo. There you go. Double fist pump. That's a bit of a stretch for me. Pull me back or something. Bald Spanish men in general, in my opinion, so there you go. So bald Spanish men in general, obviously, must be a thing. What else have we got today? Mickey Griezmann, he's not happy with being overlooked for FIFA, for the FIFA award. Salah was nominated in the final three, Ronaldo, Modric, and Griezmann says he thinks it's weird that the Frenchman in general was overlooked. What's your opinions on this, mate?
Sounds like Neymar, doesn't he? He's a legend in his own backyard.
Yeah.
You know, one of the reasons people choose Messi over Ronaldo, when Ronaldo don't win things, he has a bit of a wobbly about it and moans about it. So, and then it just makes people love Messi more. I think sometimes players have to understand is there have been better players out there than them that season. You know, Griezmann probably over the last 5 years has probably been a better player than Salah. But last season, there's no doubting Griezmann was nowhere near as good as Salah. He's got, to me, as a player, if I was a player, I wouldn't be moaning the media. I'd be going, you know what, I've got to do something this season to get myself into that top three. And that's what I would concentrate on. I wouldn't be going to the media moaning about it. I just don't get it.
They all do this, Mickey. Why do they all do this? This frustrates me. I know it's the world that we live in now, but they and half like to moan. They all moan, don't they, over every little thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to run to the media and I'm going to moan. And then if something backfires, they moan some more. And they go, oh, well, I never said it like this. I never did it like that. And it's like, wow, honestly, you know, Salah had a fantastic season. He deserved to be there. He deserved it. You know, if they picked those players for their reasons, they did it for their reasons. As you said, up your game. You know, Griezmann is a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong. He's a quality player. Would I take Griezmann at Liverpool? Yes, I would. But at the same time, you know, don't moan about it. As you say, up your level. Do one better, mate. Honestly. Nell Boy says, hi, bro. Hi, Nell, mate. I hope you're good today. Good to see you in here. Justin says, we are the best football team in the land. Yes, we are. Yes, we are, Justin. Richard's talking to Diamante. Thank you so much, Richard. Obviously, Diamante, please talk to everyone in the live chat. If anyone can speak to it, then please do so. I don't like reading stuff like that. Yes, Shaqiri, Mickey. Shaqiri. Obviously, hips don't lie, and I always get that song stuck in my head whenever I hear his name. But today, mate, I see him speaking about his game time. Someone did ask him about it, and I have got this here, so I was going to read it out, but I think that it's jumped on me. You've read about this, haven't you, as well, Mickey? He's very relaxed about it, isn't he, mate?
Well, he's just said it's part and parcel of being at a big club. He understands that because he's played at two big clubs before, aka Bayern Munich, Inter Milan. He loves playing under Klopp, and he feels that he will get his time and chance, as will everybody in the squad, because of the long, hard season that we're going to have and the amount of games we're having. And to me, this makes a refreshing change of a player to say, because normally players get asked this question, they're like, you know, you should be playing me, you know, and moaning a bit. But to me, his enthusiasm for working under Klopp and his enthusiasm for playing for Liverpool it's beyond anything anyone could. And to me, he does deserve his place in the starting lineup because apart from the game against England, the game before, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he really was. I mean, he's a fantastic talent. He's got everything really, and it's just about having that platform to be able to show it. And he's moved to Liverpool now, so once he starts getting the game time, you know, he's going to be a real player for Liverpool. I really do think so, Mickey. I've said it beforehand. I think that we've got a real good signing there in Shaqiri. I've got this. This is what he said. He says, "I'm very relaxed because we have a lot of games, and every player is going to have enough games to play. I think." I know the coach from before. This football I knew before, so it was not a surprise for me. Of course, it's a big change from Stoke to Liverpool. Liverpool is a big team, but I know how to be in a big team because I played at Bayern Munich and I played at Inter Milan. So for me, I knew what it would be like. I think we're going to have a lot of top games, good games over the next few weeks, and of course, I'm looking forwards to them. We want to keep our performances the way they have been. Liverpool are one of the biggest teams in the world. Last year, they had a very good year. Sadly, they didn't win the title, but we will now try to make a step forward and try to win titles. That's the most important thing now, to beat our goals, to win titles. So he's talking about winning titles here. It's about taking that next step. He knows the situation, mate. He's just joined Liverpool. He knows what they're all talking about. He's talking about winning titles. He wanted to join Liverpool. He wants to be a part of that. Do you think that's what's going around all the players? They're all on the same wavelength now. It's about winning titles for Liverpool, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I think we are. You can see the progression every single season since Klopp's come out, and I think we got close last year. Perhaps it was a season too soon because we've all talked about this on your live streams before, haven't we? That maybe last season we overachieved. To a certain extent, we did, but the next progression now is to actually win that silverware. There's anything other than that is a step below. I don't know what you think on that, Daz.
I agree that it's about time we start to win silverware. I think, you know, we're seeing that progression, and I think I said it before, there was a question once on a live stream where people said, what do Liverpool need to do to start to be classed as one of the big teams again? I was like, look, Liverpool have always been a big club, but it was around the transfer time, and it was, you know, players want to join Liverpool now because Jurgen Klopp's been a big factor in that, because we're back in the Champions League consistently again. But to take the next step to really be one of these clubs that the top players around the world are like, okay, I'm definitely going to join Liverpool. You've got to start to win the Premier League. You've got to be, you know, back in there winning the Champions League. You've got to do that. You've got to show these players that when they join you, they're going to win that. And as much as us as Liverpool fans, we don't want to hear that, because we want these players to join because they love Liverpool. But the cold half truth of it is players want to join a club because they want to win medals, they want to win things. And I think, as you say, the next step forward is you've got to win that silverware. If you don't win it, I think it is staying at that level. And we've seen this progression, and we want to continue that progression. So yeah, I think, you know, I said it from the beginning of this season, if we don't win the Premier League this year, then I would like to see us win another form of silverware. I think that the Premier League is obtainable within the next couple of years, is my look at it, because I think City are still very strong. They had a fantastic year last year. They're still very strong. Liverpool, I still feel that the squad is a couple of players off, like key signings off, being able to say over a full season, we're definitely looking strong to be able to compete for a whole season. Because my overall look on that is, on paper, we've got a lot of quality players. You talk about Adam Lallana. Yes, he's a quality player. Towards the end of the season, is he still going to be available? Daniel Sturridge. Yes, he's a quality player. Towards the end of the Premier League season, is he still going to be available? That's Liverpool's problem at the moment. You look at Man City and you say towards the end of the Premier League season, do they still have a full 11 and quality on the bench? Probably. And that's my only concern with Liverpool this season, you know, is that they need to make sure that they've got players that maybe are more available over the next couple of years. If we can do that, then I think that we definitely should be going right. The Premier League is on the cards. You know, the other silverware is there. You know, I'm a Liverpool supporter, so I would love to sit here and say, yeah, we're going to smash it. We're going to smash the Premier League. We're going to take all the silverware out there. But I think it is fair to say as well that, you know, there is still a few tweaks that I think Klopp would like to do and still needs to do. We were talking about bringing in Fixture because a lot of Liverpool supporters were saying we still need a playmaker in the team. And I would say, have we addressed that? We got Shaqiri. We don't know quite how potent he will be yet. Is he going to be used in that role a lot? We don't know yet what Klopp's doing. We don't know whether we still need that playmaker yet because we don't know how the season goes on yet. But so the playmaker area, that's still one question mark that we've got. There's still the centre-back, Gomez, has impressed a lot of us this year. Lovren has got to come back into the equation. But you look at Joel Matip. Joel Matip's one of them centre-backs that has proved that he can be a good centre-back, but people say he's made of crisps. So there's still a few question marks. We talk about Moreno. He's not a good enough backup to Robbo. Robbo needs someone to be able to, you know, cover him. You talk about Virgil van Dijk. God forbid anything happened to him. You know, then people are going to be like, oh my God, we're in trouble at the back. You know, worst case scenario, you talk about Virgil van Dijk being out for a couple of months in the Premier League season. That would put a real strain on Liverpool, I think, in all competitions. Do you agree with that, Mickey?
Yeah, we are. See, we're got a much stronger squad, but like, I agree with you. We are a bit short. Like as I said earlier, we should have got rid of Mignolet and replaced him with an aging goalkeeper, as I say, but a decent aging goalkeeper. I think we should have brought a backup left back. There's plenty out there. Listen, if we'd have brought in another Robinson, I'd have gone for the Celtic lad, Tierney.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's available for in our price range to be a backup. And what a great thing that would have been. The two best Scottish players battling out for one place. You know what I mean? What a fight that would have been. Yes, we all wanted a centre back, but I'm not sure who's out there we could buy that would be any good. I look at the market and I just think, well, who's available? Who's there? Who could improve the team? I'm not quite sure where we get that from, but we still need one. And the playmaker, personally, I really honestly believe this now. For Kia, we've seen the knee problem, and then we looked at, well, we don't really want to pay 50 million for Kia. Let's have a look what's out there. Shaqiri came available 13.5 million. I think Shaqiri is that playmaker that Fekir was. I think they're very similar in styles, to be honest.
Yeah, I hope that's the one thing that I look at. I hope that when he starts playing for Liverpool, he plays in that role and we go, here we go. You know, this is a player that we needed. That's what I really want to see, because then we go, okay, tick that one off. I agree. That's my overall look at it. And I'd say that's the only reason, as a Liverpool supporter, I go towards the end of the Premier League season. That's my only worry, is that there's a slight bit of concern, is that we might be a bit short in depth in that sense, because there's a few players that worry me that their injuries could flare up again. But other than that, you know, I think that Klopp's finally got his spine to Liverpool. I think that we've got quality throughout the squad for sure. We've got a bench this year, but you are back in all competitions, and hopefully we do progress in all competitions as well. But it's a long old season, isn't it, mate? And when you've got some of them players that do struggle from time to time with injuries, it can be tough on them, can't it, mate?
Oh, you've seen the strain last year. You know, on the Champions League final, we had two players on the bench that were unfit. Yeah, just to make the numbers up, and we had to bring one of them on because we got an injury to our star player. And to be fair to Lallana, he wasn't fit. He wasn't never fit enough. He shouldn't have even been on the bench. And yet to expect him to come in and replace Salah and have some effect on the game was a bit unfair on him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this kind of comes into is Liverpool's luck changing as well, because let's be honest, we could do with a bit of luck when it comes to injuries this year, because if all those players stayed fit as well, you know, then we have got a squad capable of competing for the Premier League this year. I would look at our squad and say, yes, they're capable. We look better defensively, as we've said. We know that we can beat anyone. We know that we can score goals. So, it does come down to that luck factor that Liverpool haven't had luck with injuries either, have we? The players themselves and as a team. How many times have we seen that we've got to the business end of the season, like in the Champions League final, as you pointed out, and the injuries, mate, it's been horrible, hasn't it, over the years?
Well, yeah. Well, you look at one of the reasons why we got to the Champions League semi-final was Chamberlain, and the first 20 minutes of the semi-final, he goes and ruptures his knee ligaments, and he's out for a whole season. You know, and he was flying. He was playing the best football he's ever played ever, and he looked a player. You know, I think we miss him as well. And what we got to remember is next season he's going to be like a new signing.
Yeah, I can't wait for him. You think next season we could be looking at Ox coming back into the team, Brewster being fully fit, because I think this year he's due back Christmas, January time, but he won't be rushed in. And I think it will probably take the rest of the season for him to get, because he's not going to get regular football. You know, his fitness will take time to get back as well. So I think next season I'm looking at Ox and Brewster to be two first team additions, really. They're going to be looking to make the first team and to be on the bench and fighting and competing. So I think a lot of people in general, and myself included in that, when we're talking about signings in the future and stuff and the players that we got, you can overlook those two right there. They are two quality players, aren't they? I mean, Brewster's got a lot to prove still, but Ox did prove that he's more than capable of being one of the first names on the team sheet.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. He had a bit of a slow start, but to be honest, as he said himself in an interview, like after the Man City match with Gary Lineker, he was saying that when he came, he didn't realise how unfit he was, because Klopp's fitness regime is that much higher than anybody else's, and he's saying now, I feel fantastic, I feel fit, Klopp's changed my game a bit, and I'm now playing football like I wanted to play it all them years at Arsenal, but never got the chance. Yeah. So, and then he goes and has that ligament damage, and this is what a class of a man he is. Him and Klopp knew that he was out for a whole season, yeah, but they never once told the players. That's what kind of man he is, because he was thinking the most important thing for this team is to think, well, I'm going to be all right in a few months' time. Let's just get on with his semi-final. Let's get on with his final. And, he's a top man. He is a top man. And I wish him all the luck. I hope he comes back a better player.
Yeah, same here, because I want him to come back a better player for him, because I think that'd be fantastic. For us, obviously, his work would be fantastic. But as well, mate, I see so much stick that he gets online from Arsenal fans saying he was the same at Arsenal. This is what happens with him. He shows a bit of quality and he goes out injured. I want him to come back and be a better player and to keep them injuries at bay, just so that he can say as well, like, shut up about it. You know what I mean? Like, he just, again, he was so unlucky with that. As you said, he was playing the best football of his career. I think he found his home in that midfield for Liverpool. And I look at that midfield three and I think if you had Ox, in my head, I picture Ox, Naby as your box-to-box with the holding midfielder that we've been crying out for years, Fabinho. I think that three there, of course there'd be rotation over time, but that three, they could really do some damage, couldn't they, as a midfield three?
Oh, it's just mouth-watering to think. It is going to be really, because to be honest now, looking forward, you look in the papers now, we keep getting linked with more midfielders, and I don't think Liverpool are looking at midfielders, personally honest. I think Liverpool are saying we've got the midfield, it's settled, they're all playing well, they're all going to keep each other on the toes. Like we were saying, we know where we need to strengthen. You were saying the same as me. Do we need another striker? I think we might do. We haven't got anybody on the bench that can come on and just change the game. What sort of striker we need, I don't know. But I'd like to see Timo Werner at Anfield.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's a good shout. So many people have brought his name up on this channel in the past saying he would be a different type of striker than what we got as well, because I think the one thing that I look at him is his raw pace. When Salah goes off the pitch, teams often try and attack us a bit more because we've lost a bit of our pace up top. you've still got Mane on, but I think Salah is that pacing behind player, well as Mane. He drops deep, doesn't he, and likes to be a bit more tricky. So I think he would be a quality addition to our team as a striker as well. I think he's a lot more than just pace as well. He's a great striker. So yeah, I agree with that. I think something that I look at as well is a plan B striker. Someone has a bit of a lump up top. When a team parks a bus against us, we've got James Milner that will go out to the wing. Robbo, Trent, their deliveries into the box can be fantastic sometimes. If you've got a bit of a lump in there that can come on and, header that ball in, I've always looked at it that we could have a plan B if we utilise their strength when they're on the pitch, because I felt when we've had your Benteke's, when we've had those bigger strikers in the past, we didn't play to their strengths in some of the games that they was on.
Yeah, totally agree with that. To be honest, I wouldn't want to see a big, massive lumping striker for Liverpool up front. It just goes against everything that we're into. If we are going to go for a big, tall striker, they've got to be similar to Crouch, because Crouch could do that, but he could also play football. And
he was neat with his feet,
underrated.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Or maybe Liverpool just later on in a game, if we need a lump, we just bring on another centre-back and put him up top to pile into the box when we need to. We've seen Klopp do it before. So,
what was his name? Chaluka? Was it Chaluka?
What was his name?
Brought him from Cardiff, wasn't it?
Chalker.
Yeah, brought him as a defender, but played him as a striker. Oh, yeah. It's just like, wow, what's going on here?
I was like, hello, here he comes. Where's he going? Where are you going? Legend. It's Jurgen Klopp. Gillian says we are still 1 or 2 injuries away from no silverware this season. If we don't win anything this season, I will be sad. But realistically, we need a better bench. Bench has improved, but not there yet. So, Gillian is saying that the bench has definitely improved, but it's not quite there yet for her. Which is close to what I'm saying. With that, I'm saying we are 1 or 2 injuries away from being like, here we go. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans, if we did get a couple of key injuries, a lot of Liverpool fans would be like, we should have added still. I think even if the trouble is, you can't guarantee, can you, that we could sign a player tomorrow and he comes in and he gets a bad injury, like what we've seen with Ox and stuff like that. So you can't ever guarantee it, but I do have this feeling, and it's the only feeling that I have when people say to me, do you think Liverpool can win the Premier League? And I go, I think we got a squad capable of doing it with the quality that we got. The only thing that I look at is, are all the players going to be fully available all season? That's my only concern with it. And I think Gillian is touching on that as well there. She says, Daz, do you think Sturridge might get a few starts in the coming ties? I'd like to see him start and really find his mojo. I still have this concern, Gillian, that with him, I don't know whether Klopp is looking at him and going, he fully trusts his body, and whether he would start him for a full match, or whether Klopp would like to bring Sturridge on towards the end of a game and just use him as a super sub fully, and just make sure that he's there and trying to manage his injuries, and manage his body. I'm not too sure. What do you reckon with that, Mickey? Do you think Klopp would throw Sturridge in from the start of one of these games that we got coming up? We have got a lot of games, haven't we, ahead?
I'm on you with this one. I don't think he's going to start him. I think he's more likely to start Origi than he is Sturridge. And that sounds controversial, but Origi can do 90 minutes. I don't think Sturridge can.
Yeah, and do you think that Sturridge is he's on the same wavelength, isn't he, with Klopp, I think, with this? I think they had to chat, and they're fine with that, aren't they, from what I see?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was at the West Ham game, and I was literally above the goal on the Anfield Road end where he scored, and he just literally bounced on the pitch, dumped straight in, and did his thing. You know what I mean? That's what he can do. And he doesn't need to be on the pitch for 90 minutes to do that, does he? That's, a flash of brilliance, and it's in the net from him. Yeah. So I think he knows he's a bit part player. I think he knows it's his last season at Liverpool. He'd like to go out on a high by scoring somebody. If he comes on and does what Solskjaer did for Man United, which is going on with the luck thing, because when they were out of luck and they were losing, they'd bring on these players and bump it up. And there's an element of luck there as well, changing a game by bringing players on. I can't think of a time where Klopp has brought players on since he's been here, and they've changed the game. I can't think of anything. Can you, Daz?
No, I can't, mate, to be honest.
So luck plays a part in that, and hopefully Sturridge is the one that comes on now and does that kind of role. It's our old Fairclough role, the Ronnie Rosenthal role. Let's get him on 20 minutes to go and see what we can do if we're losing or drawing. Let's change it a bit. It's obviously not working.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the role that I see. But, you know, Klopp is a man of many mysteries, Gillian. And this, obviously, we were discussing, like, your comment there. I wouldn't ever like to try and guess what Klopp is going to do. We do try and guess, and we do say, yeah, Klopp will do this, or Klopp won't do that, or we try and guess the starting 11s for games. How many times do you actually guess what Klopp is going to do? You don't really get it right too many times, do you? Because Klopp likes to mix things up. He likes to be different, and I think that's one of his qualities. I think that's why he's a great manager, because we might be looking at this and going, Daniel Sturridge will never start a game again because of his injuries, because of that. Klopp will try and manage it. And then Daniel Sturridge could start against Spurs, bang in 2 goals and be the match winner for us. And we're like, wow, you know, and he might be totally fine. Klopp gets to see how fit Sturridge is. He knows how good he is. But the one thing with Daniel Sturridge is, you know, Sturridge will know in himself as well. And I think what I think has probably been a big factor in Sturridge returning and staying at Liverpool now for this last year, and I could be wrong with it, it's just my opinion on it, is Sturridge might have had to take a little bit of a step back and look at his career and go, he needs to be a bit honest with himself. This is what I'm capable of doing. This is me now. I want to play for Liverpool. I want to be part of something big. Liverpool is my way of doing that. He loves the players. He loves the club. And he had to be honest with himself. And I think speaking to Klopp and them having an honest relationship once Sturridge realised, you know, I'm not going to be the main man, because he is the main man, Sturridge, isn't he? That's what we called him, but he's not going to be the main man. Bobby's our main man. You know, once he got over that, I think that's what needed to happen. And now he stayed back at Liverpool. He's on the same wavelength as a manager. You know, he will come in to games. He will score goals. He will help us, hopefully. And I think that's fantastic. And I think if it continues in that way, I'll be happy with that. And I think that'd be brilliant if it stays like that. And I think us as fans now don't expect Daniel Sturridge to be played against someone like Spurs. We're all on that wavelength, aren't we, Mickey? Where we're like, I don't expect Sturridge to start. But if he comes on for 20 minutes and helps us get a goal, ace. That's what we want from him, isn't it?
Well, I think that's, if he's got any future at Liverpool, that's his future. And like you said, if he's looked in the mirror and been honest with himself and said, well, I'm happy to do that, maybe he went on loan to West Brom last year and realised what a step down it was moving away from Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know,
that would have been a reality check, I think. It's no disrespect to them, but it is.
Yeah. You know, he's there every day. He perhaps he likes what they're doing with the new training round, what they're doing with the new coaches, because obviously the players must have known about all these new coaches coming in. He must look at it and think, well, it might be not the part I want, but I still want to be part of this.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If I was a football player like Sturridge, I'd want to be part of it.
But like you say, I think you've hit the nail on the head. He's been honest with himself, a bit like Griezmann should have been about last season. I need to be honest with myself. Was I really the best player I've been? No, I wasn't. So why am I moaning about Salah being there when I'm not there? Well, he's got to be honest with himself. It's about time. And listen, Daniel Sturridge has always had an ego, and to be a striker, you do have to have an ego. I understand that, but sometimes you have to have that slap in the face and a reality check.
Yeah,
you know, to get going. He's obviously not naturally. He's a good finisher. Fitness wise, he's not got the fitness, and I believe that if he was our number one striker and he'd have played all 4 games, he'd have been out now. He'd played 2 of them, and the last 2 he'd have missed through injury. Yeah, he's been managed in training, he's been managed in the games, and he's still fit. He must see the benefits of that himself.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like maturity as well, doesn't it? You know, being mature as a player. Again, Michael Owen was talking about it, you know. As you get on in your career, you start to realise what you can and can't do. And again, he's just got to be honest with himself, and I think he was. And now he's at this latter stage of his career. If he wants to prolong his football career as well, you know, play less games, manage yourself a bit more as well. And who knows, if Liverpool do extend his contract, but it is as this role that he's going to be playing now, then that benefits him as well, because he's going to be picking up that professional football player's dough as well, isn't he, for a couple more years? Because if he just kept getting injured, he wouldn't remain at Liverpool. He would end up at a lower team, and his wage would dramatically drop as well, his weekly wage. So it is going to benefit him all round, isn't it? And I'm not saying that it is all about that with Daniel Sturridge, because I think he's quite a humble man as well, but in loads of different ways it benefits Daniel Sturridge to, you know, to be realistic with himself, and I think that's what he has done. But again, it's just mine, it's just Mickey's views. You know, we could be wide of the mark, we don't know, of course. Trev says, missed you, Daz. Steve says, Daz, I'm off, mate, 5 kids, 3 under 5, and the missus. Think I'm catching up on work. Chloe, you're Liverpool, Chloe. You're an absolute legend. I love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah, let them think what they think you're doing. Absolutely brilliant. I haven't got too much. I'm going to have to get off this stream because the missus, she wants to catch up on some TV programs with me that we watched together. So we're going to be doing that. But Mickey, what are you going to be doing for the rest of your evening, mate, after this? Is there anything special?
I'm going to be watching the rest of Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime. I'm really, really drawn into it. As you called me early before the stream, I missed your call simply because I was engrossed in the episode. So I'm really enjoying it at the moment.
Yeah, there's some. We were talking about it before, weren't we? When we were talking, there's some really good programs to be able to watch. And I think I've just caught up with Shooter. What was the other one that I was watching? And like I said, Power as well. I just literally watched the final of Power. Anyone else watch that? Oh God, it was a mad one. They're definitely doing another season, but yeah. So I've got some things to watch with the missus now. I'm trying to think what the one is called. The first season was about a woman that snapped and she killed somebody on a beach, I think it was, and now we're about to watch the second season, which isn't about her, but it's about the copper and some child or something. I can't think what it's called, but it was really good. The first season was really good anyway, so we're going to be watching that anyway together, so that'd be fantastic to watch. The Sinner, do you recognise it, Mickey?
No, but it's another one I'm going to have to look up. I think it sounds quite interesting.
It's twisted, but it's very good, mate. Very good, because you have to use your brain a little bit while you're watching it. So I like it anyway. Trev says, read my mind. Leon, good to see Trev in here tonight, as always. I see there's been some kerfuffle going on in the live chat tonight. So sorry for anyone that is in a live stream that's offended anyone. Good to see Daniel's in here tonight. Thank you for being in tonight. He says, Netflix and chill, Daz. Yeah, exactly.
There's been some trouble, Dad, on the chat.
Yeah, I've seen a few people obviously been timing each other out and stuff. It's never good to see. I like everyone to get on and stuff, but I always watch the live streams back and I'll read the chat. So I will have a look back later, guys. And if I think that anyone's been causing a problem, obviously, then I will deal with it. Please don't block anyone that are mods, guys. I will look at it myself and I'll review it later. But thank you for anyone that's been trying to deal with it. But yeah, I will look at it. Thank you so much to the mods for dealing with it. Richard says, I'm thinking 3-1 to the Reds, possible a 3-0 at Wembley. Ali is out, turning to be a backup keeper as well. Richard, that'd be amazing if we could do that. Mickey, what was your score prediction for Spurs?
3-0.
3-0. So you're like literally the same as Richard there. Really positive.
I'm going for Salah hat-trick as well. I think he's on fire.
Salah. That'd be fantastic. Honestly, if Salah could bang in a hat-trick in that game, I'd be made up if he did that, because he's getting, people are being really like, oh, he's not at it this year, he's gonna be a one-season wonder, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, I don't want that. I don't want people to be saying that. I think Salah's done well so far. I think he's going to be doing really good as well. This year, I'm not bothered with his start, to be honest. I think he started the same as what he did last year for us.
Exact same stats, in fact, 2 goals.
Yeah. And Salah does a lot more than what people think. I think people just think, oh, Salah's pace and goals. He does a hell of a lot more. His defensive work rate is fantastic. He really helps out Trent on that right, doesn't he?
Well, what people don't realise, and Klopp's made it clear this week, is that Salah is still in pre-season training. That's why, and so are a couple of the others. But now, the international break is, they're now training the same as all the others. So they won't be so leggy. So he's saying that you've seen a few leggy things from him because they've come back late and they're still in pre-season training. So a lot of people haven't thought about that as well.
Oh, no. It's madness. That's the thing. I think, you know, I say it all the time. I say, like, everyone's got their own opinions and views and that. I think sometimes, you've got to be careful on social media because I see some negative comments about, like, Mo Salah and that, and they might pretend that they're a Liverpool supporter. And I'm like, when I read their word, I'm like, you're not actually a Liverpool supporter. You're just pretending to be one to start stuff, if that makes sense. Because I'm like, no Liverpool supporter would say that comment. That's what I've noticed since being on social media myself anyway. Gillian says, thanks guys for your comments. I agree with you that he is a better sub. I think I'm just wishful thinking that he gets to his brilliance. Nice words, Daz. You're very welcome. So Gillian agreed with what we were saying about Daniel Sturridge there.
Daz, can we ask Gillian who she think Liverpool should sign? I'd like to get to know.
For sure. What, as a striker or in general?
Or in general, where she thinks we need all the people, or who, and has she got any players in mind she'd like to see at Liverpool?
Yeah, for definite, Gillian. There you go. So, who would you like Liverpool to sign? Who do you think we should sign, Gillian? Obviously, we were talking earlier, and you was along the same lines with me, Gillian, that, you know, the bench is close, but not quite there for you. So, who do you think Liverpool need to sign, Gillian? I think that was good to ask a question there. Trev says, hey to Leon. He says he's thinking 5-1. We're going to show all our firepower this Saturday. What are you thinking? That's a lot of firepower. 5-1 would be amazing, wouldn't it, mate? Really smashing them. Revenge would be lovely, wouldn't it? What else have we got in the chat here? I'm just reading some of your comments out. I see Cameron's in. Good to see you tonight, guys. He says, did you pre-order FIFA 19? I've pre-ordered FIFA 19 myself, mate. I'll be downloading it. It's on the PS4. I can't wait. I can't wait now. I love FIFA. I absolutely love it. Last 2 years, because my son's 2 years old, I said that the PlayStation had turned into a glorified DVD player more than anything, but recently I've been able to play on some of the games again. I've been trying to play a little bit more, and yeah, FIFA 19, I'm going to be back on it. I'm going to be playing it a lot. Obviously, I'm going to be doing some FIFA content as well for this channel. So yeah, really looking forward to it. And I want to play some of you guys. If you guys are on PlayStation, I want to be having some games with you lot and seeing how good you are on foot. That'd be brilliant if we could do that as well. I'm not the best. I'm no pro, but I'm all right. I'm all right. So I will give you a tough game.
Daz, you just reminded me when you said your 2-year-old son. You wait till your son's 13 and he's beating you at FIFA.
No.
That's what happened to me.
I can imagine, mate. Honestly, he's 2 at the moment, and what I've got for me, I bought Spider-Man the other day, and because he absolutely loves Spider-Man, everything is Spider-Man crazy. You know, he's just started preschool, so he's got Spider-Man on his bag, and he saw the Spider-Man games out and was in the shop, and I was like, yeah, everyone's raving about it, so I'll buy it. So I got it, and now it's like, Dad, I want Spider-Man on. Dad, I want this, I want that. So I give him the controller for a little bit, and he tries to do it. He can't play a game properly. So I have an old PlayStation controller for him to sit with me, and he sits there and he pushes the buttons. He's really cute and that. But I was watching him the other day, and I thought, you know, within 2 years, he's going to be literally smashing me on everything. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to keep up. I am literally going to be this old dad, and he's going to be looking at me going, why are you so rubbish on these games? Or there's going to be new games out there, and he's going to be like, why do you want to play on that rubbish FIFA, Dad? Like, what's the matter with you? Why are you playing on COD? COD is so old. Why are you not playing Fortnite, man? And I'm going to be like, what? Oh, I feel old these days, Mickey. I really do. I said, me and the missus earlier, we was in the car, and the music that was on a radio station, you know, they was playing some of the stuff that was in the charts there, and I was like, I like some of these songs, but an older song come on, and I was like, oh, I love this song. You know, I hadn't heard this in years. And I said to the missus, I said, we are getting to that age now where we are the old parents, you know, and the kids are looking at us and going, oh, you listen to all that old rubbish, you know. Mickey, it's, you know, how old are you, Mickey?
Well, I'm 48.
So you're a bit older than me. How old was you when you started to think, okay, I'm getting a bit old now?
Oh, God, it was in my 30s when my children were about 9 or 10, and they were telling me I was rubbish at stuff. Same sort of things you've got. And when you literally think, I thought I was good, and then, nah, I'm not.
Yeah, you know, but I look at your age, Mickey, and I don't feel like you're old, because to me, you know, I look at my dad and I'm like, he's still not old, you know, and I just think, but to the kids, you know, I remember being really young and my grandparents being in their 40s and being like, wow, like Nan and Granddad, like they're really old, you know. But now at my age, I'm like, that's really not an age. That's not old. You know, it's mad, isn't it? How as you get older, you think, yeah, it's not old at all. But I think I look at my son; he's just started preschool, and I just think, oh my God, so this little boy, he's going to be looking at us and thinking, they're so old now and they're into all that old music. I sing along to Elvis Presley. I love all that stuff. My son is not going to know who Elvis Presley is if I don't teach him. So my job now as a father is to teach him Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, all these legends. How are these kids going to know what real music is? They're not, are they?
You know, obviously I grew up in the 80s and I listened to 80s music, and my son just looks at me and shakes his head and said, Dad, you are ancient.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, wow, is it really that bad? Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I am starting to feel it now. Mummy, I had to get my hair cut recently. You guys know that I finally got my hair cut. I'd left it for too long. And Miss was saying the amount of greys that I've got in my hair now, and I was like, wait, leave it. Women, they get their hair dyed, don't they? So they don't see all the greys and stuff. Whereas for us blokes, the greys really creep in. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
just for men, bro. It works a treat.
Just for men. There you go. I was literally like, when she said it, I was like, it's stress. That's what it is. It's stress, all right? It's these diets, and it's because of all this rubbish music on the radio station, and my son's starting preschool, and I'm just stressed. I'm 30 now. I'm in my 30s. Leave me be, all right?
My girlfriend just said to me, I am old. Stop pretending I'm not. She's only 29, Mum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So she's younger than me then. So
yeah, but she doesn't realise that she's going to be old when she's 30. So I thought,
yeah, tell her from me. Tell her from me. She's nearly old because I feel old.
She's walked off laughing now.
Yeah. Oh. Trev says, I'm 30, Daz, and I feel like a bingo player already. I love a bit of bingo, but I'm dyslexic with numbers. So bingo is like a real test for me, because we went to a gala bingo one night. My mate, it was a long time ago, and I had a really bad day. My mate was like, I'll treat you. I'll take you for a night out. And he was like, we go to bingo and that. And I thought, all right, we go there. Interesting, because if ever we was going for a night out, whether we go for an Indian or down to the pub and just get drunk or something, and he was like, no, we go to bingo. And we went with his auntie because she always went and stuff, and he was like, it's a real good crack, do you know what I mean? We go down there, have a good night, could win some money. So I was like, all right, we go then. I didn't think about my dyslexia, like with numbers and stuff. I say to you guys on here, like when people say, oh, what number is this player and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, numbers. But anyway, I was in there, and he was like, oh, I bought you these books and all this stuff, and he put them in front of me, and they started calling the numbers out, and I was like, I can't keep up, mate. I was like, because I just couldn't read the numbers in time of what they're saying. So, you know, in the end, his auntie ended up doing her like 2 or 3 books and my couple of books at the same time, and I was just sitting there and I was like, I love bingo because you can win some money and have a drink at the same time, but I really couldn't keep up with the numbers. So yeah. Do you ever play bingo, mate? Do you like a bit of bingo or not?
Yeah, but I'm the same as you. I just find, you see the person next to me, she's about 80 years old. He's got 10 books, and she's, dead fast. And I'm struggling to find my one number and my one book.
Yeah. Oh, mate, honestly.
They're like the Mo Salah of bingo, and I'm like, somebody from the Vauxhall Conference. It's just like, what's going on here?
I'll tell you the one thing that I noticed as well. The one thing that I noticed from the bingo was there was two older ladies that they won quite a lot of money one night, and they kept getting up because they kept winning and stuff. And my mate turned around and said to me, he went, "That's not really good, is it?" He said, "Because I've noticed that they've won a lot of money." He said, "Can you imagine if there was a couple of dodgy people in here, up to no good?" And I was like, "Well, I've just noticed that you pointed it out." So I said, "So you've obviously got a bit of a dodgy brain for saying it." But it was like, they're a couple of old ladies, and their area or whatever, it was like from local to where we lived. And he went, "That's not good, is it?" I went, "Yeah, but they're not physically going to have the money now, though, are they?" And anyway, we just ended up having this long old conversation. I went, if anyone overheard us, they would be thinking that we was planning on doing over these two old ladies. I was like, that is awful. Absolute awful. I said to her, I went, "Oh, mate," I said, "Thanks for a good night anyway." I said, "I couldn't read the numbers." I said, "Next time I think we go for a game of snooker or something like that instead. That's a bit more of me. I could just concentrate on potting a ball. That's what I'm about."
Bingo's a skill, mate. It's a skill that's honed in over years and years of playing it. I'm sure it is.
Yeah. As I say, I'm quite happy to sit and have a cup of tea in the evening, talk to you Liverpool supporters, leave the bingo to the master of the old ladies. They know how to do it, don't they? They are spot on with it. What else have we got here? So Maverick says, "Look forward to playing poker with you, Daz." Oh God, you would rinse me, Maverick. That's why he's looking forward to it.
I've got a funny story about poker.
Go on.
We played poker one night, and I had never played it in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what I was doing, but I kept winning. My mate said to me, "What's your secret?" I says, "Well, the secret is I don't know what I'm doing." I'm just going, "Is that a good hand?" "Oh yeah, you've won." It's just like, what?
So there you go. Is Liverpool's luck changing? You definitely had a lot of luck when it comes to poker, so maybe you should play it, but learn the rules, I suggest. I never even attempt poker, mate.
Chess is my game.
Yeah, chess is a good game. I like a bit of chess because you got to think about it, haven't you? Think ahead of your opponent. But yeah, poker is not for me. Maverick, we will never be playing poker, my friend, because you would rinse me. Not for real money. Anyway, put it that way.
Play for matchsticks.
Yeah, I'll play for matchsticks.
Showing me age now.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I want to see whether Gillian answered the question. Yeah, she said, Pulisic, yes, please. After fault there, but the box only gives me 200 words. Oh, so hang on. Did she write something just above? I wanted to see, because obviously we asked Gillian the question. She put, "I'm not really sure who, but I think we need a decent replacement for the back. Rotation and to cover injury. One more striker, and for what it's worth, I'm sorry that Fekir fell through." I agree with that one, for definite. What's your views on that, Mickey? Obviously, you asked the question.
Well, we're all Fekir fans, aren't we? We all seem to have... I think Liverpool fans fell in love with him the first time we were linked with him, and I think you were the first one to ever mention him out of any of the Liverpool online streamers or anything. A long time ago, I remember mentioning his name as a player you would like Liverpool to sign, and all of a sudden Liverpool were linked with him, which was really strange. Yeah,
I knew that Liverpool targeted Fekir before. Remember when Thomas Lemar, because that come from when we heard that we had put in a late bid for Thomas Lemar. There was a couple of rumours that come out that Liverpool went for Fekir first, and we were told that he wasn't available then and to go back in the next summer transfer window. And then we went late for Thomas Lemar, and obviously we all know how that works out. It never happened. So that was why then I started watching Fekir, because I was like, well, we went for him first, so if we were told to wait until next summer, then it makes sense that we could go back for Fekir. So I was like, I want to keep an eye on this player and see how good he is, because I didn't know how good he was really. I could do the usual, look on YouTube and stuff, and I was like, he looks good from that, but you can't get a real look at these players. And then I was talking to a few people, and one of the subscribers, Ferno, he was messaging me as well, and he was like, I think that we're going to go for this player called Fekir. So we started talking about him, and that was going for like a year before all this really started to blow up. And then there was one rumour that come out about it, and me and Ferno messaged and was like, it's going to happen. So I was like, I'm going to go on YouTube with this and say that Liverpool are going to be targeting Fekir again. And then that was the start of it all. It just really started blowing up. And, you know, we were so close to signing him, so close. And I think if Liverpool would have signed him, you know, it would have been amazing because of how long that I had followed it. And it would have been amazing if we could have for Liverpool. And, you know, the fact that I had followed it for so long would have been brilliant for me as well. But I was gutted in the end. I was gutted for him as a player as well. But, you know, he's
still coming out. He's still baffled, isn't he? He's like, and Leon manager reckons it's affected him. His form's really dipped.
Yeah. He wore the Liverpool shirt. He was coming to Liverpool, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, I remember every man and his dog that night. And we were like, well, it's only a matter of minutes. You know, because we'd had that last minute thing done for Fabinho, and we all took out surprise. Well, that's good. And for 3 days we were like, yeah, this is happening. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like Liverpool have pulled out. It's like, what?
Yeah, because that was the thing. Do you know, I got so much stick because I did like videos where it was like, it's 99% complete, and, you know, because all the trusted journalists were saying this deal's happening. And I go off the Liverpool trusted journalists, and even though they are kept in the dark over a lot of stuff these days, they were all pretty adamant that this was happening, and it was going through. It was literally last minute that it didn't happen. And I tell you what, I had so many messages, mate, so many negative, bad messages, and I was like, I can only tell you that I really was sure that this was going to happen, because one, I followed it for so long, two, Liverpool were targeting him so much, and three, even the Liverpool trusted journalists were like, it's done, the deal's been agreed, the fee's in place, you know. We saw the leaked footage as well that he had the interview, and I was just like, yes, we've got Fekir, this is happening. And then no, it just didn't. And I just think, you know, that's why it's a big no-no. And I think as well, because there was so much media about it, and because now a lot of teams will know about this future possible issue that could be there, I think it could have had a big blow on his career as well, because let's face it, a lot of teams might not come in for him because of that same issue, because Liverpool decided to swerve it. Maybe other top teams might do as well, and that could really knock him in a confidence way as well, couldn't it?
I think it already has. I mean, all the talk that you're hearing, because like, he hasn't really started the season well for Leon at all. He's been quite poor, to be honest. Yeah. So still keeping an eye on him. And then you listen to like what the manager says, and then he himself, like when he said, like, he now to this day still does not know why Liverpool didn't buy him. In his head, he is talking like, I was there, and all of a sudden the carpet was pulled from under me, and I don't know why.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
You know, I don't think we will, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do go back in for him.
If they really drop their value of him because his form's dipped, this could be all a master plan. His form really low. Liverpool have got their massive concerns over him. If they really lower that value of him, his contract's getting lower and lower, you know, with the time that he's got left remaining for them, Liverpool could end up getting him at a real steal, and they might look at it and go, yes, we got concerns there, but if we get him for a good price and he is available for a certain amount of time, it may look good for us down the line, because he's obviously a player that Klopp wanted because we targeted him. So,
well, he was our number one target, I'm sure he was, you know.
Yeah, well, we did target him for over a year, like I say, so he was one of the top ones. He was up there with Naby and Virgil van Dijk, in my opinion.
I just find it strange. I like you said, it could all be part of a master plan. Perhaps they didn't want to pay the money for it, or, you know, perhaps I've heard another theory that Liverpool really weren't going to buy a new goalkeeper, and when they realised Alisson was going to be available, they didn't have the money available for Fekir, so
yeah,
they pulled the plug on it. But that sounds, it could be true, but it also sounds like someone's overanalyzing something.
Yeah, I think that the money would still be available if they wanted to get Fekir at that fee. I think they could have, but No, not sure. Daniel O'Sullivan said, Daz, would you let your son follow United? No, Daniel, no. That's the worst thing that could happen in the world, isn't it, Mickey?
I'd rather burn in hell, you know.
I couldn't handle that. If he ever come home and was like, Dad, my friend has told me that I've got to support Man United, I'd be like, I'm pulling you from the school. We're homeschooling you. I would turn the world upside down to make sure that he supports Liverpool. I would literally move as well. I'd move to Liverpool and make sure that everything around him was Liverpool, so that he had no choice but to support Liverpool.
I'll tell you a very, very, very good story now. My daughter is 24.
Yeah.
And when she was 17, she went out with this 19-year-old lad and brought him home, and he wore a Man U top. And I said, oh, you do not come into my house wearing that. And he sat in my house with his top outside, hanging on the line, in just his bare chest.
He actually sat there with nothing on.
Yeah. And I said to him, look, to date my daughter, I'm afraid you're going to have to denounce your demonic following of Man United. And he thought that much of my daughter, he started to support Manchester City. Then,
well, fair play to you and fair play to your daughter in that scenario.
He was gutted 9 months later when she like got rid of him. But she's now with the Glasgow Rangers fan, so that's not too bad. So
better than a Man United fan, isn't it?
Yeah. She went up to Edinburgh and met this Scotsman up there, and he's obviously a big Rangers fan. So I'm not too unhappy with that. But because they've got a child now together, my grandson is 100% Liverpool, and under no uncertain terms, I had a conversation with his dad saying he's a Liverpool fan. Okay.
Yeah, simple. I love that. Maverick says the only way he comes is after a year if the fee comes down. So he's talking about Nabil Fekir then. So he comes after a year if the fee comes down. So yeah, could wait for the year. Gillian is saying she's off now. Goodbye to obviously me and to you, my friend. She says, so sorry I missed your introduction. Thanks for a really great chat and enjoy your flicks. Good night to you, Gillian. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no, Gillian, you're in top class.
Yeah, as always, I love it when Gillian joins in. As to everyone that's joined in as well, Daniel's got to go. He says, right, Dad's got to get up early. See you on the next stream. Night to all in the chat. Neville Clone, good night to you. Yeah, I think we've had a great call from you tonight, mate. I think you've been spot on, Mickey. Thank you for obviously being on the show tonight. I think we'll round it off there because I've got to get off, like I say. I'm going to go and watch a bit of Netflix with the missus. And as everyone was trying to say, Netflix and chill. I think it's going to be Netflix, another cup of tea, and more dieting. It's about right.
How do you have
for
your
me.
tea? Come on, Daz. How do you have your tea?
At the
The
moment,
whole world wants to know how you have your tea.
milky, and it used to be sweetie with like 3 sugars, but now sweeteners. I have 2 sweeteners. But yeah, milky. I don't have a strong tea. I can't do strong tea anymore. I used to, if I'm on a building site or whatever, it would have been a strong tea. Do you know what I mean? Everyone makes it strong, don't they? Builder's tea, strong. Well, as me, I'm like, no, I like a good bit of milk in it. I like to be able to drink it straight from the cup, you know. How do you have yours?
Oh, milky. Milky and no sugars. Wink, wink.
Yes, love it.
I'm getting prodded now.
I love it. Well, she's 29, mate. She's keeping an eye on you.
She doesn't realise that I've got a secret stash of sugar somewhere and she's trying to find it.
I love it. He's in trouble now, ladies and gentlemen. She is on the hunt for a secret stash of sugar. And yeah, hopefully she doesn't find it for your sake, mate, because yeah, then you're in trouble there, because we all have a secret stash of sugar somewhere, don't we? I'm not going to say it too loud in case my missus finds out. Take care, everyone, in the live chat. Thank you for joining us tonight. Mickey's been an absolute pleasure to have him on. We spoke about Liverpool's luck. Is it changing? We need a bit of luck, guys. We want to win the Premier League. We want to win some silverware. It doesn't matter how good you are, how good the team is, how good, you know, Klopp is as a manager. You still need a bit of luck, guys. All right. And it is about making your own luck as well. But we're Liverpool Football Club. We do need a bit of luck as well. enjoy the rest of your days, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Please leave a thumbs up if you haven't already, and share it on your social media platforms if you can. It always helps, and I always end up doing this, and I don't know why, but I really enjoy that little dance. I love it. Take care, everyone. I've been on the bench LFC. Mickey's been a legend. Is there anything else you want to say, Mickey?
No, just everybody be positive about the game on Saturday and enjoy it.
Yeah, indeed, mate. We should be positive, shouldn't we, guys? It's, as I say, bit of luck for Liverpool. A couple of their key men missing. Liverpool are good enough to spank them anyway, aren't we? Right. Thank you again, Mickey. I've been on the bench LFC. You've all been legends. Enjoy the rest of your days.